Right, today's the day it goes to the dealer. And guess what? It actually rained last night. Yeah, so it rained last night. And that's brilliant because it's actually showing signs of leaking. So that's great. Well, it's not great, but it's good when it goes to the dealer. They'll actually have something to look at. So let's have a quick look to see if we can get some of this on video this time instead of just those photos that we had from the last time it did it. And if we go over to the other side, you can see in the corner there. Yeah, I have to go around. So on the driver's side, you can see here, it's just starting to trickle down through here. You can see that it's gone past the seal. Around on there, you can see some droplets of water past the seal. And then just down here as well, you can probably just about make it out there, a little droplet of water there inside the car. So it looks like the seal is broken from about there to there. Let's have a look on the rear door, because this is right. So here you go. So there's a puddle of water now. This is very interesting because I can't see any way the water is tracking down. It almost looks like it's being kind of almost siphoned up the. That's not the proper word for it, but it looks like it's coming up from outside, which is very odd. Yeah, very odd indeed. So there we are. So yeah, this is the day that we're going to the dealer with this car, and we're going to drop it off there while we go away in the other car, and hopefully when it's back, they'll have it for a week. So hopefully they can test it properly. It's a bit of a concern, this really. I've got a 40-year-old car in the garage. It doesn't leak. Like I said in my last video, I've never had a car that's leaked. Stopping water getting in cars has been done. That's kind of a solved problem. So it is a bit worrying that this car has this problem. And all but the driver's door, it's actually hard to see what the problem is unless it is some subtle seal seating. It's even possible, of course, that the doors are not have not been aligned properly to the openings. But that's a really fiddly job if that's what's causing it. It will take a very long time to get to the bottom of it. So the thing that worries me about this problem is that it's not fault fix. It's not here's a broken thing, swap the broken thing for a new thing. This is water's getting in somehow, figure it out, and then so this could just be a lot of trial and error, and it could be a lot of trips back and forth to the dealer. So at some point I think patience may run out if they don't sort of get it licked in the first in the first instance. So as I said in my last video, it'd be a shame to have to basically sort of hand this car back and say, no, sorry. But, at the end of the day, I think this is a pretty unforgivable problem that this car has got, which is a real shame, because it was all going so well. And I've not actually seen that many comments on forums about the water leaking. So there you go, it's a new one. Anyway, this video is to be continued, so we shall take a trip to the dealer. and we shall see what they say when we get it back. So watch this space. Right, dropping off Zoe at the dealer and see her in a week. Bye bye Zoe, say bye bye Zoe.
Bye, Zoe.
You love the super booster of the Zoe. Yeah, she's quick. Greetings from Yorkshire. So before I start this rant, I'd just like to say I've had the best fish and chips ever in a little town called Barnard Castle. So if you're ever in Barnard Castle, fish and chips is amazing. Check it out. So I've just had a call from the dealer and they've had the car a week and they haven't been able to make it leak. Apparently they've tried the pressure washer and everything. So they've asked me if they can keep the car a little longer because it's supposed to rain tomorrow. So we're on our way back and we're going to pick the car up tomorrow. So hopefully by the time we get back there, they will have actually seen it leak through rain. I'm a bit annoyed, to be honest. I would at least have tried to reseat the seals because you could see the seals weren't correct. So all in all, I'm a bit annoyed. And it looks like I might have to fix it myself, which, having paid full price, I don't want to. So they should really fix it for me. Anyway, we'll see. Alright, morning. It's a little bit more Cumbrian today. Yeah, so I'll put some nicer shots in of yesterday evening because it was glorious. I was really annoyed yesterday, but I didn't want to walk down a street shouting into my iPhone. Why did I buy a new car? Because I didn't want any problems. I didn't want to have to fix it myself. It's been a week at a dealer and they couldn't fix it. Hopefully by the time we get there today to pick it up, it'll be fixed. They didn't even try and reseat the seal or anything like that. So, it says to me they just didn't bother. And I'm pretty fed up with it. So we shall see. It is actually raining now. I mean, they tested it with a pressure washer, and I'm guessing unless they got on a ladder and actually sprayed into the seal. But what would that prove anyway? It's a very hard thing to recreate. So I'm not saying it's not an easy fix. It's a hard problem to prove. If you're trying to prove the problem before you do the fix, which is normally the way you would do it, you've got to actually have it rain, or you've got to have a rig set up to mimic rain. A pressure washer could just push past the seal because of the pressure. I mean, rain doesn't rain like a pressure washer does. The droplets are also a lot finer, so you're really onto a non-starter. Even if you proved a leak with a pressure washer, it might not be the leak that the rain got through, because you might just force so much water through a point in the seal that it's a non-test. If I was that dealer, I would have said, okay, it's going to be hard to figure this one out, so let's try and reseat the seals, give it back to the customer and see what happens. But no, they've chosen to sit on their hands for a week after not being able to make any leaks come through with a pressure washer. So okay, we're going to have to see what they come up with by the time that we get there. So they've got about 4.5 hours to sort it out. Otherwise, it looks like I'm fixing it myself, which is not what I wanted to happen. Anyway, let's see how it goes. Long drive. Let's see what they've got to say for themselves about Zoe.
Hello, I'm in your video.
Okay, so that's a result. They've actually taken all the door seals off and they've put them back on. So shouting at them over the phone yesterday actually worked because they've actually done something. I don't think if I'd have done if I'd have left them to it, then I think they would have just said there was nothing wrong. So that's a good result actually. There's nothing more I could have asked for at this stage because you know, unless they've got access to a monsoon machine, there's no way that they can really prove it. If they use a pressure washer, they might just make it leak because the pressure washer just pushes all the seals out. So yeah, at this stage, that's all I can really ask for them, really. So I wish they'd have done it without me sort of getting them to do it. You know, I wish they would have just done it as a matter of course. But there we go. Right, so we're going to drive it home. It's raining now, so we should see if this this fix has actually worked. But if it hasn't, then but hopefully that's not the case. It's good to be home, and conveniently for us, it rained all night last night, so we should be able to see if those seals being reseated have done the job. So let's have a quick look. Aha! There we have it. No water, no damp, nothing. They did also clean out the rain gutter as well, so they've had all this off, they've had this off too, so they've given everything a good going over. Right, let's check the back door and see if that's all good too. No signs of water around the seals. Like last time, there's just spots of water here. So perhaps this guttering has cleaning this guttering out has helped reseating the seals. But whatever they've done, whichever combination of that has definitely sorted it. Yeah. All right, so good news. The car doesn't leak anymore. That's great. A simple fix for a problem that shouldn't, really have happened. Of course, the question is, why now? It has rained before, so is this something that's going to need occasional reseating? Is it the action of the door opening and closing that's actually kind of migrating the seals slowly, out of position or something, or is it the guttering? Is that causing a problem? Of course, don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. I have seen other people on the comments below in the previous video saying that they've had this problem as well. So it looks like there's a fairly simple solution, but it remains to be seen whether this is going to be something that has to be done on a occasional basis just to keep the problem at bay. But good news, because despite that little hiccup, and it's funny really because at the end of the day it's a car, so it's an electric car, yes, but ultimately it's still going to have all the other potential problems that any type of car would have. And so Tesla get beaten up all the time in the press about build quality issues and all that kind of stuff. So it's not unique to Renault, it's not unique to any one manufacturer. So it's just a bit of a shame that the dealer initially didn't do anything apart from just try and make it leak, and then they couldn't make it leak, so they didn't then do anything. And it was only when I kind of got a bit irate about the fact that they had the car a week and they could have easily just reseated the seals, which is what I would have done if it wasn't in warranty, right? So, you know, I've got a lot of experience pulling cars to pieces and putting them back together again, and so I'm not afraid to do that, but I shouldn't have to, because I paid for a brand new car, it's in warranty, and I want to make sure that everything is done by the book. So there you go, it's fixed, it's all good, and until the next time. But we'll see if this sort of crops up again, starts happening again. But yeah, I'm really pleased that you know, fairly simple fix, no tools required, just pulling the seals off and reseating them and maybe rolling them in a little bit, doing a bit of cleaning, has actually resulted in a positive outcome here. So thanks very much to the mechanics at the dealership who sorted it out, and thanks for watching. I hope this is not put you off getting a Zoe, because it is a fabulous car. I think any car will, you know, have issues, and so, you know, of course, the more money you pay, the less, you know, you would hope that would happen, but it's not necessarily the case. I certainly know that from experience too, within the family. So you can buy a very expensive car and have many problems, let's put it that way. So, you know, thanks for watching, thanks for hopefully this is useful, hopefully this is something that, you know, won't happen to you, but if it does, then you know it's not going to be the end of the world. But do, you know, if you're in warranty, take it into the dealer. If you're a bit handy and it's not in warranty, then it's something you could easily do yourself, and experiment with to try and get it all fixed. So we'll see you in the next one. And hopefully I was going to do a kind of, you know, 6 months having the Zoe, but this kind of got in the way of that, and I wanted it to be a kind of, I wanted to get this situation resolved before kind of going into a kind of fully kind of my thoughts video on sort of 6 months of ownership of an EV, rather than have this cloud kind of hanging over it, because I thought, you know, that's not going to be a fair representation of the car. But it is good to see what happens when stuff goes wrong, because ultimately you can buy the greatest product in the world, but if it's not supported well, and you're not looked after by the company that, you know, provides the product, then, you know, ultimately that's going to sour the, you know, the whole experience. So in a way it's good that we've had a problem, because we've seen kind of, you know, how our dealer has responded. We've seen how also Renault have responded, so Renault Assist. I put a tweet out on Twitter to say, you know, oh my gosh, you know, this has happened to my, you know, brand new car. Is this a known fault? And the main reason I put that tweet out was because I wanted to know if Renault knew about this. You know, was it a recall item? Were the seals, you know, perhaps there was a revision on the seals after a certain date and time, and this was something that was going to be resolving that issue. You know, they do this all the time. Car manufacturers constantly revise things when they pick up on issues. So there could have well have been a known fix, and it could have well been an easy fault to fix. Doesn't mean your dealer is going to be aware of those fixes, depending on how on the ball they are, though. So I put that out there. They actually called me. I haven't been able to take the call because I've been on holiday, and we've been doing lots of driving around, and they've just, you know, called me. But it's nice to see that they've called me multiple times and have tried to talk to me about the issues, see whether I need any help. Now, obviously, in this instance, I don't feel that I really do need any help, because the dealer managed to sort it out in the end, so that's great. But it's also great to know that, you know, if you do get into a problem and you do tweet into the Renault Twitter handle, that you'll get a response, and when you send them a private message, confirm that you own a car, and all that jazz, then, you know, they will get in touch with you. So again, this is in a way, it's a great test of the customer experience, because at the end of the day, the after sales experience is crucial to these companies, because, you know, ultimately that's what's going to guide your kind of next purchase. You know, they want you to come back, they want you to buy the next car, or they should do. You know, they shouldn't be about a one-shot deal, because, you know, ultimately you could be a customer of theirs through multiple cars. That's what they should be striving for, and so giving you that quality support and that help is essential. So, well, in my opinion, it's essential anyway. So it's good to see that was all happening. So anyway, that's it. We will see you in the next one, and I will be doing a kind of living with video. So if there are any points that you want me to cover in that specifically, you know, put it in the comments below, and I'll try and make sure I don't miss anything that's kind of a key piece of information for you anyway. Right, anyway, thanks for watching. Thumbs up and all that jazz if you want. No pressure, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, take care, bye.